Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn a poem, My Mistress's Eyes Are Nothing Like the Sun, written by William Shakespeare. This is sonnet number 130. William Shakespeare, his lifespan is 1564 to 1616. He was born in Stratford-upon-Avon and he is famous as National Poet of England. He is world's great English dramatist and poet, actor and stockholder in drama company in London. His works are translated in many languages in the world. He has written 37 plays, and in these 37 plays we have tragedies, comedies, tragicomedies and histories. He is also well known for his famous tragedies like Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth, Othello. He has written 154 sonnets, and these sonnets are famous as Shakespearean sonnets. Sonnet means a lyric poem of 14 lines. Now let us know something about the poem. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. It is 130th sonnet out of 154 sonnet which are popular sonnets written by William Shakespeare. This sonnet is published in 1609. This sonnet is about dark lady who is beloved of poet. In this sonnet sequence there are 4 personas which are described throughout the sonnets. These are dark lady, fair youth, poet and rival poet. Form of Shakespearean sonnet is it has 3 quatrains, means 3 stanzas of 4 lines each and 1 couplet at the end. Rhyme scheme of this particular sonnet is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF and GG. Theme of this sonnet is not traditional one and the tone is humorous. This sonnet presents the realistic beauty of poet's beloved. Let us read this sonnet. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun, written by William Shakespeare. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips is red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks, and in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go, my mistress, when she walks treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. The very opening line of the sonnet is my mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. In this poem, poet presents the natural beauty of his beloved. In traditional way of narration, we find that usually the lover describes the beauty of beloved in very extraordinary, gorgeous manner. But in this sonnet, we find that in a very simple way, the beauty of poet's beloved is picturized by the poet. He doesn't compare his beloved's beauty with the outstanding phenomena of the nature or objects in the nature, but he compares that beauty of his beloved with very normal physical appearance. In the very first line, the lover says that his beloved's eyes are not at all like the sun. From here onwards, the speaker presents a description of the beloved in exactly opposite manner to the tradition. The reader becomes familiar to the humor in the next line. He says that the precious red gemstone is far redder than her lips, her beloved's lips. These lips are pale and not red. He says that the lips of his beloved are very normal. With these images, poet wants to convey the message that physical appearance and the beauty is not that thing which is needed in true love. When we are in deep love, in that we don't consider the beauty of beloved, but we consider the inner true heart of the person. The next two lines. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun? If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. Usually in traditional way of narration of beauty of beloved, we find that her hair are always compared with some beautiful things like golden hair and the hair with some shining. But here poet doesn't compare beloved's hair with anything like that, but he says that her hair are black wires growing on her head, and her skin is also not white like snow. In traditional description of beloved's beauty, we find that the skin color is always whiter than snow. But in this poem, poet doesn't say it like that. He says that the color of his beloved is not white, but it is brown. It is dun. Dun means what? Brown. And even the hair he compares with black wires, not with golden wires. Now come to the second stanza. In first stanza, we have seen that poet is comparing that beauty of his beloved not with anything which is that natural phenomena or object in the world, but with very normal things he presents the beauty of his beloved. In the second quatrain also we find the same. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. See, poet says that I have seen various beautiful roses in the nature. Roses damasked means roses which are pink and red and white in color. But in the cheeks of my beloved, there is no such color of roses, or such beauty is not found. See, here the poet says that the cheeks of his beloved are not very beautiful one, but these are normal one. Even in traditional sonnet, that we see that the breath of the mistress is compared with the sweeter smell of perfume. But in this poem, very opposite to that, poet compares, poet doesn't compare actually that the breath of, the smell of breath of his beloved to the perfume. The speech of the mistress should be sweetest sound or music for the lover, but in this sonnet, the lover says that though he loves to hear her voice, but he knows that the sound of music is sweeter than her voice. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. And I grant I never saw a goddess go, my mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. In third stanza, we find that the speaker refers to the tradition in which a lady was often compared to a goddess. He says that he has never seen a goddess walking by. His beloved is a human being and she walks on earth. Now, to make the final statement, the speaker says that though his beloved cannot be compared with the beauty of nature, the speaker's love for his beloved is very precious, valuable. Coming to the last couplet, last two lines, couplet means two lines, quartet means 4 lines. First 3 stanzas contain quartets, means it has 4 lines in each stanza, and at the end we find one couplet, means 2 lines are there. This is the form of this poem. In the final couplet, the sonneteer declares that the comparison of his beloved with heavenly object is not important because his beloved is beautiful, though she may not look extraordinarily beautiful. Hence, she need not be falsely compared with other beautiful objects. See, and yet by heaven I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. So there is no need to compare my beloved with these things which are there in nature, but she herself is very beautiful, because when you are in love, you feel the person that you love is the most beautiful person in the world. So same emotion is expressed by a poet also. In Shakespeare's view about love is very non-conventional. Usually a lady was loved for her physical appearance, and most of the time her beauty was praised in such a decorative manner that very often it appeared to be artificial. The lover in this poem is sincere enough to admit that his beloved does not possess any extraordinary or heavenly qualities, but she is very normal in her physical appearance. What should be really valued when you love somebody? Poet says you should love not to the physical attractive aspect, but to that true mind, true nature of a lady. He mocks the traditional sonneteers in this way, presenting this humorous poem. The careful arrangement of the words, the use of poetic devices shows Shakespeare's command on the poetic art. The rhyming scheme of the poem is similar to that of other sonnets of Shakespeare: A B, C D, C D, E F, E F, and G G. It is 130th sonnet in the sequence of Shakespeare's collection of sonnets. So I think now you can read this poem and understand the meaning. Some questions are there. We can solve this or give the answers to these questions. enlist, the first question is enlist the natural objects taken up for comparison in this sonnet. Why does the Shakespeare that speaker refuse to falsely portray his distress? What is the argument presented in the final couplet? So, thank you.